Hello and welcome back to another instalment in my new YouTube channel. I was talking to Johnny Mac from Rock and Metal Plus this morning, and he actually highlighted an album I'd shown on a previous video. So I jokingly said, oh, it's nice to know that this VC thing actually works. And then I got to thinking, I wonder how many albums I now own purely because of seeing them in the VC, or people mention them in VC. So it's going to be there'll be hundreds. So I thought what I'd do was show 3 albums that I've all received, well, they've turned up in the last week, purely through recommendations in the VC, whether it be on a social media post. In fact, I think these 3 are all actually on videos. So, without further ado, and stop waffling. First up is this little beauty by the band Envig, and it's called Gut Wound. This came out in 2021, and you can sort of tell by the album cover, if I say the words Sweden and death metal, you know what to expect. Now, this was recommended to me by Dylan, Death Metal D 1976, and it's his bread and butter. He absolutely loves Swedish death metal, and why wouldn't you, to be honest? But yeah, I wouldn't say it's meat and potatoes death metal, it's more to it than that, but it is a solid, no nonsense death metal album. And I haven't shown a lot of death metal, and this is the only one I want to show today as well. The other 2 are well out of the ballpark. But yeah, I'll leave a link to Dylan's channel and to the other 2 gents as well that I want to mention. Yeah, if you haven't seen any of his videos, I'll be surprised. Nip down there. He's not bad for a southerner, really. Decent lad. But yeah, very, very good Swedish death metal. Now then, this second one, I am a massive fan of Motorhead. Consequently meaning, I'm a massive fan of Lemmy. Now, I had no idea that this album even existed, that it'd even been a part of this band. Now, I was watching Jason, Black Leather Eyes, and he was doing a different update video. We had this playing in the background. And I actually said to Mrs. Beast, that doesn't half sound like Lemmy. And lo and behold, Jason said, oh, and this is Lemmy. The band in question are called Sam Gopal. Well, actually, it's not the band, it's the gentleman in the red jacket there. Came from Malaysia, moved to England, started a band called Sam Gopal's Dream. Didn't really go anywhere. So he recruited Mr. Kilmister there on vocals and guitar, and they released this. Now, this came out in 1969, so I'm excused for it passing me by because I was only 1. This is psychedelic rock, and it's absolutely mint. If you're in the mood for something completely different to Envig or your normal run-of-the-mill metal, give this a spin. Now, it's called Escalator, and Jason at Black Leather Eyes, his collection's just ridiculous, and a lot of it is this type of old school rock. You find some fantastic obscure bands, but he's one of them annoying people that looks like what a metalhead should look like. You know, he's like a pretty face and long hair and stuff, but all joking aside, his knowledge of obscure 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s music. I mean, he does listen to modern stuff as well. But yeah, if you've never seen any of his videos, pop over and have a look. He's got some fantastic stuff, some really out there stuff. But like this, I never thought I'd be listening to something. Apparently, there's an instrument called a tabla being played by Mr. Gopal, Now I had no idea what that was till I searched for it, and it's actually an Indian subcontinent style of drum similar to a bongo. So now you know. Education, see? This last album was shown by Marty, Metal Marty Mark, and it's described as black metal. The metal parts are black metal, but this is far more important than just a black metal album. Now, it's 80 minutes long. The band are called Aqueous, and the album is called Griseous. 2011 debut full length. From Australia. Actually, I think it's just one gentleman. It's like a solo project. Obviously, when you listen to this, it's orchestral, it's symphonic, but not like, it's not Behemoth, it's not Septic Flesh, it takes you on a journey. It's an 80-minute album, so I wouldn't recommend you put it on, you know, just for 5 minutes and think, oh, listen to a song. No, you need to listen to it from start to finish, and it is. I'm so glad that Marty opened my ears to it, because it's exquisite. From start to finish, it's got melancholic parts, it's got some proper crunching guitar tones at times, it's got orchestral parts, it's got choral parts, it's got a folk type vibe running through it. It's just, it's something that I would never have been, I would have just passed it by without even, nah, black metal, nah. I would have been doing myself a misjustice. This is an incredible release. And when I spoke to Marty and said that, you know, wow, thanks for turning me on to it, we both said the same thing. I can't believe there hasn't been more people actually mentioning it, because it's just a superb release. I think they've got a new album, came out maybe last year or something like that, and I believe there's an EP that came out just before this. But if you're in the mood for something that's completely different, yes, it's still got metal, black metal, give it a go. Neoclassical black metal, I think it's called, folk metal, some or other. Like I said before, I only think of two genres, stuff I listen to and stuff I don't. This is an absolute beauty. I think Marty said if he'd have been around recently, it would have been his album of the year straight away, and I can see why. It's absolutely flawless from start to finish. Right then, in the background, to coincide with the Black Narcissus t-shirt, I'm listening to, we're listening to Malediction. Now, this band were formed about 15 miles away from where I live, in Middlesbrough. I don't live there, that's where these were formed. And I didn't know anything about them back then, even though I used to go to gigs in Borough all the time. Just one of them bands that passed me by. Now luckily, they've decided to pull the fingers out and get back together, and they're actually playing up at the Death Festival in Scotland in January, and there's a lot of VC people going up there. So if you're up there and you fancy a beer, give me a shout, I'll be there. So hopefully, it's only another short one, hopefully these are things you maybe haven't seen, might interest you enough to think, yeah, we'll give it a go, see what it's like. Let me know what you do, if you do like it, if you don't like it. I'd like to say a massive thank you again to everybody that's watched any of my videos, that's commented, that's subscribed. And if you think I'm doing it okay type of job, then just stick that thumbs up button. And apparently if you ask people to subscribe to your channel, it's a bit desperate, but look at me, of course I'm bloody desperate. So anyway, me signing out again, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.